Hi, everyone. Hey, She Army, and welcome to the 32nd episode of the Simply She podcast live. I'm your host, Crystal Vernay, and today we're going to be delving into the topic of living your dreams. So, first things first, we are going live with StreamYard. So, make sure you allow StreamYard access so that you can leave comments and ask questions under your name on Facebook. Again, allow StreamYard access to be able to leave comments and ask questions. We want to hear from you. Don't be shy. You can go ahead and post comments or questions at any time during the show, and we're going to be taking questions in just a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So, too often we find ourselves in a place of unfamiliarity, right? Like, how do we get there? Where are we now? Why are we here? What are we even doing? And sometimes when you're pursuing your dreams, you find yourself in unfamiliar territory. It's kind of necessarily where you thought you might be, but you have to go down that road in order to be able to get to where you want to be. And it's no accident that we find ourselves in a reflective mode or reflective state of mind because the path ahead is not always clear, right? But the end goal usually is clear, right? We know exactly where we want to be, but sometimes we can't necessarily see what's right in front of us. We just know where we want to be at in the end. So, but the most important thing is to continue forward, continue pursuing those dreams, continue what makes you happiest and makes you most fulfilled. So, my guest, Elizabeth Fresquez, knows all about that, all about the trials and tribulations in pursuing her dreams as it relates to the music industry. And let me just tell you a little bit about who she is. So, Elizabeth is originally from Roswell, New Mexico. Music has always been inspiring to her. She grew up enjoying singing in her church choir, and she has a twin sister who is also an aspiring pop singer. She currently resides in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where she works full time as an RN, but dedicates the majority of her time to her music. Elizabeth is inspired by artists like Shania Twain, Miranda Lambert, and Carrie Underwood. She aspires to be as show stopping as any of these women. Welcome, Elizabeth, to the show.
Thank you so much, Crystal. Thank you for having me, and I think you said it perfectly. Sometimes with our dreams, we find ourselves asking, like, what am I doing? Where am I going? Where am I supposed to be? But I'm happy to be where I am.
Awesome. Well, tell the listeners a little bit more about yourself and what got you interested in being an artist.
Okay. So like she said, I've always been kind of involved in music. I was in choir growing up. Me and my sister were put into multiple instruments to learn them. I won't say we play any of those now. We tried, let's see, we did piano, we did flute, we did violin. Choir stuck the most, and we're both working on guitar right now. My dad actually learned how to play over the coronavirus. So I'm working on my piano skills right now. But we grew up in the choir. My parents both really liked music, and um, my sister, like she said, is an aspiring pop artist. She's been working the past 4 or 5 years. She's had probably 7 or 8 releases and is working on more songs. So she kind of is who got me into doing music. She has been encouraging me to do it for a while, and because of Corona, I finally decided that I should put my time into a hobby or my dream, I guess, not a hobby, but
Okay. I grew up playing the flute and the piano as well. So,
oh, awesome.
yeah, a little bit of a synergy there. I started with the piano, and then when I was in elementary school, I started playing the flute. And then when I went to high school, that transitioned to the oboe, a whole nother story. So, I've done flute and orchestra. That was my
Yes,
life
that's
growing up.
awesome.
Yeah. So, I know all about that. So you're currently in nursing. How do you balance nursing and your passion for music?
So it has been a little bit hard. I will say that Corona has helped a lot. it has its positives because I do work full time, so I work 40 hours a week. My job is great. I work Monday through Friday. I'm in a clinic, so my hours are also great. So I mostly work it on my music when I get off work and on the weekends. So the good thing is that I know I always have the weekend if I need to do something or work on some music. And it's honestly, this job has been amazing. It's really helped me pursue my dreams and actually put some more work into it. Whereas, like, with my jobs before, I didn't necessarily have the time or I was too tired, like on night shift. And I think nursing is a really versatile career, and it's given me multiple opportunities to do things like music and travel, and it's it's a great job.
Okay. So do you do like travel nursing? Or were
No,
you doing? Okay.
I'm too
Okay.
scared for travel nursing. They don't give them very much orientation, and I worked in labor and delivery, so delivering babies before this, and I was always just kind of too scared. It takes me a while to get used to places, so I like to be comfortable, I guess, and I think nurses are awesome and amazing for being able to do what they do, but I'm not.
Okay, cool. So tell us a little bit about what music you grew up listening to.
So we grew up listening to everything from Kid Rock to Ludacris to Shania. So basically, I would say everything except for like hard rock. My
Okay.
parents liked soft rock. They would have their kind of boring car rides sometimes, but now I like their music better than I did back then. But I really listen to a wide array of music.
Yeah. I think as we get older, we kind of get open to like more genres. So,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
definitely.
So, what's your favorite genre right now?
I would say that country has been one of my top my whole life because I feel like it's very relatable. I feel like it tells a story and kind of takes you into a different headspace. I feel like it's calming and it makes me happy even when it's a sad song. um, just because I don't know, it's peaceful.
Okay, cool. So can you talk about, I know you said you're kind of getting back into pursuing things, but talk about your journey to becoming an artist. What does it look like? What steps did you take or are you taking to kind of take yourself to the next level?
Yeah. So, like I said, my sister's the one that encouraged me. She's been encouraging me for years. Since she went the pop route, I decided I would try the country route. Just seeing the things that she's kind of struggled through, I thought we could maybe both put our heads together if we tried two different genres and see kind of what works and what doesn't, and kind of help each other out. Um, so when coronavirus started, like I said, I was kind of like, well, maybe now is a good time to start working on music. And I had written some lyrics down before, never written a full song really. I've helped my sister a little bit. So I got in contact with one of my Facebook friends, Zach Stone, and asked him who he works with. And so he introduced me to Dallas Jack. He lives in Nashville. And we did a FaceTime. And then we started writing music together. And it's been a really cool journey. He's been very helpful. He's a producer out there in Nashville. And he really has taught me how to not only promote my music, but how to do my social media, how to set up all my accounts, my distribution for my music. So he's been amazing, and so is my sister. I would say that I've definitely, social media is hard. It's hard to promote yourself. So kudos to you and all your stuff. And you have a couple of businesses, right?
Yeah, I do.
So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's like one woman show. You gotta like, well, I have a team for my studio, but for some of my other businesses, it's just me that's doing a lot
Yeah.
of the stuff behind the scenes. So it's kind of like you have to wear multiple hats when you're
Yeah.
entrepreneuring, when you're building your own business. So it's great that you have someone that's showing you the ropes. And I was going to
Yes.
ask too, like, is there like, do you have like a recording studio in your house? Do you have like favorite equipment you like to use? Like, what's that look like?
Not yet. I've been recording with Dallas, so that's the only really recording studio I've been to. I've done some recordings with my aunt and my sister. Um, and that one I really have no preference because I don't really know yet, I guess I should say.
Okay. Awesome. So you have a single, right? Or a
I
single that you're working
do.
on? So tell us about your single. What's the story behind it?
So I just released this single. It's called 99. And as we were sitting there trying to come up with the lyrics, we were trying to think of like funny instances in my life. I wanted it to be kind of Miranda Lambert-esque, kind of like confident and crazy. And a thought popped into my mind about a couple years back. One of my friends met someone on a dating app, and he recognized me in one of the pictures and told her that I once called my boyfriend 99 times. And I was really offended. I was like, why is he telling people that? But then I thought back to a night, and I had had a couple too many to drink, and I was angry. You know, when you're crazy angry and you don't care, doesn't matter. Nothing matters. And so I called him multiple times. I don't know if it was 99. I don't know who would have time for that. Maybe me. And so I told them that, and they were like, "Oh, that's the perfect song." And I love it because it's kind of like owning your crazy and just not caring what anybody thinks. And I love it.
Cool. Definitely. That's really funny.
It is
99
funny.
times. But it's, I mean, I'm always interested to like hear how artists come up with like the names of the story behind songs, because there's always a story, right? And
Yes.
whatever you create, like if whether it's a like written spoken word, a song, there's always a story behind why you create something. Like, for example, the story behind my podcast and why I started it. It's
Yeah.
attributed to something personal that I was going through in my life. And I was like, I
Uh-huh.
tell my story. So just always, always interesting to hear like how things actually shake out and like what the end result is
Yeah, I would
from those
love to hear
experiences.
that from like more artists too, just to kind of see where the songs originated from, if they're true or not. Mine's very true, kind of. I think he stretched it a little bit, but who knows?
So, what do you feel like is the most difficult obstacle that you've faced thus far when in trying
Um,
to pursue your dreams as an artist?
I think right now it's been very hard that we can't actually sing live. Me and my sister had actually set up with a band to perform a couple of times over the last couple of months, but unfortunately everything started closing. So
Mm.
that has been hard for me, but it's also been good because it's given me a chance to perform my music virtually, which is honestly a lot less nerve-wracking. So it's good practice, but I would like to kind of work on performing live more, and also I want to work on more music too, and like travel bans have made it very hard to do that, and I want to be able to travel and not be judged by people and not feel bad about it. And with my job, it's hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
for sure. Yeah, I definitely like a fan of traveling cover bands. That's like I'm like one of those people. It's like, oh, such and such. Oh, Grease cover band. What? Okay, I'm
I like it.
like I'm there. Thanks. Yeah. So secret little indulgence in like theater, Broadway, those and
I
like just
like
live
it.
shows. Yeah. So
I love Broadway and theater. My sister makes fun of me because I have like Hey Big Spender on my phone, and I'm just like jamming out in the shower, and she's making fun of me, but I love it.
well, those are the best songs. Show
They
tunes are the
are.
best.
They are.
Absolute the best. Timeless. Um, so what have you feel like you've learned the most from the music industry when it comes to being and building your own brand?
I think what I've learned is kind of to be yourself, be confident, and really work hard. Like doing all of this has made me realize how much my sister puts in. Um, when she's working on her music, because I've had a lot of help, I've had a lot of guidance, and she didn't have any guidance. So it's really showed me kind of how much work it is to put, it's not just one song, it's just not just lyrics and music put together, but it's a lot of work. And I think it's kind of taught me perseverance and to just kind of keep pushing hard and working even if people don't like it, um, or you would like to see it more. You would like more people to hear it, but I'm really excited. I've really enjoyed this journey.
Yeah, I think that's the key to like anything, right?
Yeah.
Don't give up, and no matter what, there's going to be someone out there that falls in love with your music, someone out
Yes.
there that like wants to hear from you, wants to hear about your skills, wants to hear what you have to offer because they can identify with you. So I think the key there is when you're really pursuing your dream, like don't worry about the folks who don't like what you're doing, focus on the
Yeah.
people who
Exactly.
do, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
So what advice would you give any women out there aspiring to be an artist?
I would say definitely. I think that like my example with Dallas, find someone that will help you and is there for you and is a genuinely good person to push you and to help you kind of learn the ropes. And I would say work hard even if it gets hard. And like my boyfriend always tells me when I'm stressed or anxious, he always says, "Don't take life too seriously." It always makes me feel better because life is very serious, but sometimes you can't take it too seriously. You just have to push through and move on and work hard for what you want.
Will show you the ropes. So especially in my industry, being a coach,
Hmm.
and having a coach is really, really important, right? So someone who's been where you've been to get you where you want to be a lot faster. So that's a
Yeah,
key when you're ready to level up. Definitely make sure you invest in and seek out a coach to help you and mentor you, so that
definitely.
you can, be your best and not take life too seriously. The self-care piece of it all, right? Being able to
Yes.
step back and continue to take care of yourself and,
Yes.
just be unapologetically you
Yeah.
in whatever that you're doing.
Hmm.
So tell the listeners a little bit about like any new projects that you're working on. What's coming down the pike? What do you see coming out?
So I wrote two more songs, and I wrote them alongside my sister. I think she helped with both of them also. Dallas, Zach that I talked about, Aspen Taylor, and Andre. Um, we wrote two more songs, and one is called Red Light. It's kind of about, it's not necessarily about a specific person, but it's about kind of moving on from something toxic. um, Kind of in my own life, it kind of represents, for a while I didn't feel like I could settle down, not necessarily like settle for someone, but I couldn't settle down, and I had a hard time just being happy in a relationship. And so that's kind of what it's about. It's called, and I say running every red light in it. And so that's kind of a metaphor for just trekking through my relationships, not really wanting to settle down. And that's coming out in, I think, November 20th is the date that I picked for that release.
Mm-hmm.
The last song that I will be releasing as of right now, I plan on making more, will be in January. It's called Wildest Dreams. And that's the one I wrote with Zach, my sister, and Dallas. And it's kind of, I told them I wanted a confidence song. So it's a very confident song. I think it's a good song to help empower women, because I think that women are pretty down on themselves sometimes and don't pick or choose relationships that they deserve, and they deserve more. And so I'm basically just telling the guy that I think I'm too good for him. Um, so I'm excited for that one to come out because I think it will be very empowering, or I hope that it will be.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you tag the show in that, because honestly, that's what Simply She is all about. Simply Slay
Yes.
Hard every day, and um, empowering women to be their best selves, best version of themselves,
Yes.
and have that confidence, and like you said, be able to choose and live the life that they want to live. So
Yeah.
I think that that's amazing, and I can't wait to hear it, because I
Thank
listen to
you.
all genres of music. So definitely want to make sure that we listen to that, and maybe we'll even play it on the show.
Awesome. That'd
Yeah,
be
when it comes out, because definitely that could be one of our theme songs. Who knows?
well, I'll definitely let you know. I'm
uh,
excited for that one.
are there any other projects or things that you're working on that you want listeners to know about?
Not right now. I there is another song that we wrote, and I will probably be working on that with Dallas soon, hopefully. So
Okay, perfect. Well, let's take a moment to pause and see if there are any questions or comments out there for anybody who's watching. If folks don't sign into StreamYard, I can't see them on the broadcast, but
okay.
they can definitely still leave comments. So if you guys have any questions or comments, go ahead and type them into the chat now. Elizabeth is waiting. Just take your questions. So we'll just give it a few minutes here. So while we're waiting, I'll ask another question.
Okay.
So like when it comes to like booking a live show, like what's that process look like? I've been in like a stage manager production type role before.
Uh-huh.
So like when you come, I'm the person that's like, doing the lighting and all that good stuff,
Yeah.
making sure the show runs.
Well, you're a
Um,
lady of very many talents.
yeah, back in the day, my former life, I did some stage production work. Um, but like, what does it look like from, I guess, from your end, like booking a live show?
I honestly, so the only live shows that I have seen in are with my sister. She's done a couple in Albuquerque, and I know she did some in LA, but I haven't had the opportunity to do a live booking yet,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Okay. Well, you said you've been leveraging like doing like virtual things. Like what?
Oh yes.
So what? Like kind of what have you been doing with that? It's like a virtual concert or what?
Yes, so virtual concerts, I did it through B Squared Management. I actually met, her name is Birdie, through my sister and one of my other friends, Dina, who also, who she has also helped. And I booked shows through them, and I think it was kind of hard. I did one through, I think it was a bar virtual concert, and they kind of just sent me time slots that I could do, and it was like a 30-minute slot. And then we'd book it and we'd go live on either Facebook or Instagram, and we would either tag, I think one was through a magazine that I did, um, and we would tag the magazine, or like the Facebook event, we would just go live on the Facebook event page. So it was really interesting. My sister helped me with those. She would harmonize, so it was fun.
Cool. Yeah, because I
Yeah,
haven't like attended any virtual concerts yet, but that's a cool concept. So I've been to
it
lots
is
of
cool.
summits and conferences and all sorts of things, but no virtual concert yet. So I have to
Yeah,
check that out.
they were
Looks like
pretty cool.
yeah. So definitely let us know, like if you're having some, we'll definitely
Yeah.
like love to attend.
Well, thank you.
Um, so I don't see any questions or comments. So let's let the listeners know how they can reach you. Give us your website and your social handles.
Okay, perfect. So I do not have a website yet, but I do have my Instagram will be at efresquez. So EFRESQUEZ _. That is my Instagram handle. That's where you can find most of my stuff. You can also find, I believe I still have the pre-save link for, no, do I? The link to my music on there. You can find my music on iTunes, Apple Music, Pandora. You can find it on Spotify. I think TikTok has it. You can find it on Instagram if you want to put it on your Instagram story. Um, I also have a Facebook. It's just Elizabeth Fresquez. And then I also have a Twitter, which is also Elizabeth Fresquez. So.
Perfect. So, for more information and how to contact Elizabeth, you can, if you missed what she was saying, you can click on the link in the show notes for this episode. And that will be posted at isimplyShe.com/podcast. Again, that's isimplyShe.com/podcast. Also, if you all would like to join a collective of women dedicated to empowering themselves and being their best selves, join the She Army Facebook community. That link is also in the show notes. So, guys, I hope that you found what we shared today to be helpful. Hopefully, you've gained some advice, some nuggets on what it takes to pursue your dreams, specifically in the music industry. And remember, you too can conquer if you slay hard every day. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.